If you have been tapping and mining coin on TapSwap with your Telegram, I think you really need to watch this video because the head of the marketing team of TapSwap is going to join us live on this video right here to answer all your questions, your concern that you all have about TapSwap. When is it launching? When is the launch date? How are we going to get the token? When is the airdrop? This and that in this particular video, because I have those questions I'm going to ask him on my tablet right here. So we are going to dive straight into it. And what are you waiting for? Give a subscribe to this channel before we dive into it. So firstly, I need to put on my headset for me to hear him clearly and for you also to listen to him clearly. So let me just do that right now, and I need to adjust for him to come closer. So before we start this interview session, so if you really want to know how this speech and interview is actually compiled together, you can go into the description of this video and actually read about it. So right now, let's welcome John Robin of the marketing team of TapSwap.
Correct. John Robin from Minnesota in US of A. My nickname, though, is another bird. It's Cardinal. It's my middle name. My parents must have been heavy into the bird watching. I don't know. So you guys can feel free to call me Cardinal.
Okay, thank you so much, John Robin. So the first question I really want to ask is, how does the idea of TapSwap really come into making? Like, tell us about it.
We saw Notcoin and we saw how quickly it was taking off and the reach it was getting, and we put our, like I said, our many years of experience and like-minded individuals together. We have a good home office where there's, everybody comes together, so it's really easy to have the team working and bouncing ideas off each other and solving problems quickly, as you guys have seen with the load issues and that, and moving on. And yeah, we took it on and we wanted to get it out as fast as possible.
Oh, that's actually amazing, because I want to say kudos to all your team at TapSwap right there, because you actually did something amazing in the space of 1 month, and it's quite amazing and a whole lot of work for you. So there is this particular question I really want to ask you, and I want you to explain in case of people that are just joining TapSwap and they don't know anything about TapSwap. How do you go about allocating of points to them, because they are just joining, they don't really know anything about TapSwap, and what are those things they can do on TapSwap to get them some portions of coin or points? Can you please tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Just have to, you open up the app and you tap away. That's going to give you shares.
Okay.
So the more you tap, the more upgrades you do, and the more shares you get. And when we do finally finalize the full tokenomics and we come out and release,
Okay.
there will be some type of ratio built in for how many shares you get equals how much tokens you get. So the more tokens you want to have at that time, the more tapping you got to do. And that's it, pretty much.
Okay, thank you so much, John Robin. And there is this particular question I need to ask, because recently you did something on TapSwap where you asked people to pay a portion of about 1 ton or about 0.5 ton to double their shares on TapSwap. So how does that really work? Because some people are actually cool about it, and some people express their sentiment. They have been sentimental about it, like, oh, they are actually annoyed or discouraged, because right now we know that you have a lot of competitors out there, with the likes of Amstar, with the likes of Bloom, with the likes of YesCoin and etc., trying to implement what you don't do and trying to stay ahead of you, because they are actually having a lot of activities going on the app. So when you introduce this particular double offer, which I think it was the limited time offer then, and it was to pay 1 ton for you to double the shares you have. So I think I was having about 45,000 when I was tapping away on my TapSwap. So I think I did that for 1 ton. But some people could not do it because they don't have the money, and also they feel like, why are you requesting for money from us when other platforms do not request money from? Can you please shed light over that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So it wasn't something that we just did willy nilly, if you would. We had, like I said, grown exponentially faster than we thought we would. Extremely grateful for that and happy for that. And we realized, like I said, the responsibility that we had now to these people. So to further develop the game and to further develop our plans, you need capital, right? There's things involved: marketing, token launch, developer work, ensuring liquidity once we launch the token. We're all included in the decision to introduce the paid feature that was just for a limited time. And I saw some people, were all upset, like you said. It was kind of split, and some people were like, "Why are they demanding this out of us?" And the game was initially free, and it still is. We definitely didn't demand anything of anyone. It was a limited time offer that has already ended, and it was a limited time offer because we saw how that curve of people jumping into the game was still picking up, and we didn't want people jumping in now and then being at such a disadvantage and getting frustrated and leaving or having a bad taste in their mouth. So this was a quick way to give those people that are just coming in a chance to catch up quickly with those of us that had been tapping away for weeks already. So it was a limited time offer. It's gone now for now, and we are looking forward. We're looking forward to using that money that we've earned from that towards the game's progress and future. It's all going back into development and to those 25 staff or people working around the clock. They need to eat and sleep and drink, and so yeah, it's all going back into it. So it wasn't something that we came up with willy-nilly, right, to just try and make some quick cash and dash, because we're still here and we're making some big strides with you guys and with other people. So we want to be around for a while.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And I think recently I read about the tweets you had on TapSwap on Twitter, on X, that the money that you generate on the limited time offer by participants is actually going to be reinvested into the hub for development. So I think that is quite all right, and that summarizes your point. And okay, there is this particular question I really need to ask, because it has actually been going on in the community. People have actually been asking a lot, like, okay, when the airdrops finally comes, like, how is the ratio gonna be, like, what is the percentage? Like, I have about 254 million that I tap over my phone right now. So 254 million coin, what is the ratio of the sharing, the allocation eventually when this particular coin finally launch? Because some people had about 1,500,000. Is it that those below 10 million are not going to receive a share in this particular portion, or there is a criteria you actually need to get this particular share of TapSwap when it finally get launched on Ton?
Yeah, this is definitely something that people are keen to learn about. But unfortunately, while we are developing clear rules according to how and which way we want to distribute the tokens between the community, I think you and most will understand that such regulations cannot be communicated before the drop itself, in order to avoid abuse by unscrupulous users, people that multi-account and scripters and whatnot, right? I do want to reiterate that for us to distribute the tokens fairly is in our best interest as well as yours. It has to be a big success for us and for the future of the project. We have done well with the 2 times upgrade that we just talked about. And that money, we could have took and run, right? Like you see it all the time in the crypto space. You see it all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I was involved with all the NFT and all that. You see it all the time happening, right? But we haven't, and we aren't going to. We're here. And instead, like we talked about, we're putting that money back into the project. So we need the token airdrop to be a win-win for all involved. We don't take this opportunity lightly. We have also, developed monitoring systems as well based on user behavior that will help influence this as well. So they are very close to being finished, but we have lots of moving parts right now, including communication with many exchanges and platforms. So I can't really say too much.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I really, really do appreciate. And there is another question I really need to ask. Some people are trying to develop some mechanisms, some skills on trying to actually cheat the system because they know that the amount of shares they have, they want to triple the shares without tapping. So they are developing some kind of skills to actually cheat the system. Have you designed a particular means or particular technology on your system that will actually filter out those who are trying to cheat the system?
Yeah, it's something that we've had to look at, right? Like we said, as long as there's been crypto, there's been ways that people are coming up to crack the system and to scam it. And I've always thought, like if only these guys could use their powers for good, right? They could put together some really amazing projects, but it's going to be there. And we've developed a monitoring system based on this, and we know we have a larger number of accounts that deserve to be banned. We're kind of trying to figure out how to deal with this. The team is considering offering unscrupulous users an option of surrendering voluntarily for a percentage of the drop that they might have received. We don't know. We might run it by the community and see what they have to say. But it is something that's out there with most of these games, and we are keeping an eye on it for sure.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I really, really do appreciate, and people listening right now and watching, we also appreciate that. So, okay, going back to the initial question that I really want to ask, TapSwap said they are going to list by July 1st of this year. So, is TapSwap really actually going to came to that promise of launching by the first day of July? Please tell us and tell everyone if actually TapSwap is going to fulfill that promise of launching by July 1st.
As far as I'm aware, right now we're on that schedule. We're online with that schedule. That's where we're shooting for, and we don't have any specific date per se, but definitely coming up very soon. Like I said before about the tokenomics and that, we're still communicating actively with tier one exchanges and other projects. So we want to make sure we get all our ducks in a row, if you would, before we actually do go live with the drop. We appreciate everybody's patience and contributions still so far. Like I said, we are in this for the long haul. We're here and we're not going anywhere. So keep tapping. Don't rush. Just keep tapping and don't worry about it. The more taps you get in, the more time you have, the more taps you get in, and then the more your allocation will be, right? We will publish our tokenomics as soon as we consider it to be complete. And I can definitely say that we will allocate a significant portion of all the tokens to the community. This is going to be number one priority to us is having it a win-win situation, having the community happy, right? We want to carry you guys with us into this next frontier, to this next tier that we're building behind the scenes right now. And we want to retain you. We don't want to just launch a token and then, give everybody and then they dump and they move on and they go to the next thing. No, we want you guys to stick around with us, build with us, grow with us, be a part of TapSwap as a whole, right? Yeah. So I can't reiterate that enough that, we want everybody to be happy with this. So we're really putting a lot of thought and effort into making sure that it's fair for all involved.
So this is actually nice. So everybody just pick up your phone and keep tapping on your TapSwap, generates more coin, because he said you heard him. He said the more tap you have, the more share you are going to get. So bring out your Telegram and keep tapping on your mobile phone. It's nice to have you here, and that is the voice of John Robin, of the head of marketing team of TapSwap. It's very, very nice to have you here to shed more light to questions that people have in the community about how does the token work, how does TapSwap work, how is the listing and the launching is going to be, and how do you operate and how do you share the ratio on TapSwap. So it's nice to have you here, John Robin, and thank you for the amazing answer you had to our question. I hope people out listening and watching right now will already have a conclusion about TapSwap and have a certainty that TapSwap is actually going to launch, even with the likes of the competitors out there. You know, they had a lot of competitors out there, which you all know. And thank you for having you here. I really, really appreciate that.
It's been absolutely my pleasure, guys. Yeah, I hate to run. It has been a pleasure getting to know you guys a little more and sharing some info. Please, everybody, keep your eyes and ears peeled to our socials for some more information. Like I said, since our devs have tackled the scaling issue and that we had there a little while back, they are head down, nose down, eyes down, full on in the pit, working, developing our future with TapSwap and your future with TapSwap as well.
And thank you all for watching. I really, really do appreciate. And sooner or later, we are going to have another interview with another person, probably from other projects, probably Amster, probably YesCoin, to bring them closer to you for you to actually listen to information that you don't have access to. So thank you so much for watching my video. I really, really do appreciate. And don't forget to give a subscribe to this channel. And if you really want to know how this video is actually coupled up, the interview, everything, you can go in the description of this video. I have analyzed to you how this particular interview was actually brought together. So thank you, and I'm gonna see you later in another video, but I'll be saying bye for now.